Good morning, Celebration Center, and welcome. Welcome to our Sunday morning service. It is so lovely to see everybody here this morning and to just see all of y'all's amazing faces and to know that there's so many amazing people also joining us online on Facebook Live as well. And perhaps you're even watching us later. So, as you may or may not know, our physical center is located here in Falls Church, Virginia, in the DC metro area. However, we are completely virtual right now. And so we are kind of from all over the place coming and joining together in community this morning. And as I have been saying every week and will continue to say, even once we go back to our in person services, we will be doing hybrid services because we are committed to making sure that everybody, our larger community that has grown over this last year while we've been online, continues to have this community and this celebration service to join us in on Sunday mornings and throughout the week in our classes and our chanting and our activities and meditations and all of that. As y'all know, we like to begin every service here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living with our vision. And the reason that we do this is because our vision is where we are headed on the horizon, and we want to all be on the same page so that we're all steering the ship in the same direction. And so Ivor is going to pull that up for us. I invite you to say it along out loud with me and stay muted. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And I know I am celebrating the spirit that is within myself as well as within each and every individual beautiful face that I see here this morning. And I know that each one of us is that individualized expression of that oneness that we are celebrating and knowing the truth of within ourselves. And now I would like to invite our music director, who had an amazing concert last week. And I just love having this amazing music director who does so many things out in our community and is constantly writing songs and putting her work out into the world. As our music director, we get to claim her. And so without further ado, Lynn Hollyfield to open us up in some music.
Thank you, Reverend Chris. I'm going to start with a Daniel Namath song, and I put the lyrics in the chat box, so I hope you'll sing along if you're familiar with it. It's called Everything New. Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something that's gone, that'll never return. Yeah, I think I've learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything new. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through fearing, I'm through dreaming that there's ever any cause for doubt. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. Yeah, I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. For I've thrived many times before. all walking through. God's opening doors, and we'll be alright. Yes, I will once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I was jamming. I was jamming for that song. And now I would like to invite our licensed practitioner, Rich Kurashevitz, to join us on platform this morning and inspire us.
Good morning, Celebration Center. Happy Palm Sunday and Passover. As Reverend Chris said, I'm Rich Kurashevitz. I'm a licensed practitioner here at CCSL. Practitioners are trained to see the truth in every situation and in everything. And we primarily do this through prayer. Later on in the service, you will see a link to how to submit prayer requests. And I believe Suzanne will also send out a chat note about how you can email your requests in. Prayer requests are for yourself or for anyone that you would like to change a situation, or to just express gratitude for the blessings or any situation that's going on in your life. Today's reading is from Ernest Holmes, Uncle Ernie, from Effective Prayer. Love overcomes both hate and fear. However, love does not overcome hate and fear through controversy, argument, or force, but by a subtle power of transformation, transmutation, and sublimation. It is invisible in its essence, but apparent through its act. As light overcomes the darkness, as the presence of heat causes the coolness of a room to change until it is warm and comfortable, so the radiant action of love and peace dissipates fear, hate, and confusion. Love is the victor in every case. Love breaks down the iron bars of thought, shatters the walls of material belief, severs the chain of bondage which thought has imposed, and sets the captive free. So we will pray now. Just take a nice deep breath. Let it out. Let out all the cares, worries, pushing Zoom buttons, all that. Just let it out of your mind. Just relax. Again, nice deep breath. And let it out. And know that just as we are breathing in unison, we are breathing in unison with the entire universe. For there is only one power, one presence, one life, one mind, one spirit. For God is all there is. God is the living spirit and almighty, in all, over all, around all, throughout all, as all. God is the Alpha and the Omega. God is the entire universe. God is the creator, the creation, and all life. And I am that I am. I and the Father are one. I am an individualized expression of God. As God is all there is, I am some part of God and spirit and life. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, each and every one present is perfect, whole, complete, eternal, and immortal. I declare that we embrace and know the truth that sets us free. We are divine and co-creators and know our wholeness and unity with God and all. We embrace and know peace in our lives as we are strengthened by the light of the divine within. I know that we are blessed and a blessing to all who come in contact with us. I declare that everyone manifests wholeness and health. I declare that this week in preparation for Easter is especially holy as we reconnect with the source as it manifests in our thoughts and actions. And love transforms us. I know that we let our light shine and truly are at peace in a higher state of consciousness than ever before. We are alive, awake, and aware to the presence of spirit within and all around us. I'm so very grateful for knowing the truth that sets us free and for the blessings of life. I'm grateful for the divine presence of spirit in and around and through everything and everyone. I am so very grateful for our blessings, for all the gifts that have been made, for our acceptance of those gifts. I am exceedingly grateful for the peace and love that fill our lives now as we transform and reconnect with our higher selves and celebrate life. I release this word unto the law where it is already known in the mind of God and is assured of fulfillment. This is the word of God and will not return unto me void. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you so much, Rich. That
And
was
so it
beautiful.
is.
And I actually read that quote this week, so I'm really glad that you brought that in about the love transforming. And now I would like to invite Lynn back for some more music.
Thank you so much. I was trying to put these words in the chat box, but it's not cooperating, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna do an original tune. This is called Layers. Layers on layers, piled up on you. Layers on layers, how can I get to you? I'm searching, I'm digging, I'm praying, and I'm singing. Oh, but when will I find you? I see a hidden identity. I hear a cry unheard. I feel the joy of laughter cut down by voice and a stare. It's a long journey with hidden treasures on the way. A tall cliff, a deep cavern, I won't let them get in my way. I'm standing alone on the earth, nothing I own. Coast to sky, the stars, the sound. I'm near the heart of underground, and there's layers on layers piled up on you. Layers on layers, how can I get to you? I'm searching, I'm
digging, I'm praying, and I'm a singing. Oh, but when will when will I find you? I fear of being lost, but hear an inner voice that sees and accepts myself, releasing a controlling force. Layers on layers, piled up on new. Layers on layers, how can I get to you? I'm searching, I'm digging, I'm praying, and I'm a singing. Oh, but when will when will I find you? When will I find you?
That was beautiful, and thank you. Thank you. That layers on layers, I feel that when it comes to committing to transformation, what we're going to be talking about this morning, that, you know, every time I think that I've gotten all the way down into the depths of who I am, or I've gotten down to the very bottom of a belief system or a pattern of behavior or a trauma that I want to transform, I find that underneath is another layer, right? Like, this again, but I'm doing it from a different level, layers and layers and layers down. And the good news about that is, even as we go down in layers in that way, we're also diving deeper into our truth, into who we are at our very essence. And every time I get to what I think is the core of myself, oh, nope, underneath that is just more God to express, more spirit showing up in me, as me, and through me. So thank you for that song. You have me already thinking, but in a whole different direction than I was planning on going this morning. So our topic today is commit to transformation. And this topic almost had layers and layers, because, on the surface of it, we go, oh yeah, commit to transformation. Yeah, that's what we do in this movement, right? But then I started thinking about, what does that really mean? What does commit really mean? What does transformation really mean? And so when I start getting into these nitty gritty nuances and definitions, the first thing I do is Google it. And I go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary and I look up, what do these words actually mean? Because often it's different than what I'm expecting. And so I want to define these terms for you kind of before we get started. So to commit is to pledge or bind to a certain course or policy. It also could be to be dedicated to something, someone, somewhere, something. And I actually really liked this one in the meaning of when we're talking about committing to transformation, to be in a long-term emotional relationship with. And then it has in parentheses someone, but I thought about that, to be in a long-term emotional relationship with transformation. Whoa, right? Like that goes somewhere. That really goes somewhere. Because when we say we're committed to transforming, that's really what it is. It's not this, I think I like to have this idea, and I especially had this idea in my early 20s. You know, I got into this movement very young-ish. When I was 18 years old, I was in New Thought teachings, and I had this like idea that I was who I was, and then I was going to transform, and then I was going to be what I was supposed to be, right? And it was just going to be like this, and the clouds were going to part, and the hallelujah choruses were going to sing, and I was going to sprout wings, and then I would be transformed for the rest of my life. And boy, that hasn't happened. It's been like a solid 17 years that I've been waiting. And, you know, I've heard some hallelujah choruses, but I haven't gotten to the end of my transformation yet, right? So to be in a long-term emotional relationship with transformation, I think that's the one we're going to go with. And then the definition of transformation: a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. So sometimes that transformation, that dramatic change, is only in form. Sometimes it's only in appearance, and sometimes it's both. The act or process of changing completely, especially so that one is improved. And so, you know, we tend to think, and really, I probably should have looked up the word improved, but I didn't, because this idea of improved might not exactly look like we thought it did. Like who I am now at 35 is not the idealized version of myself that I would have expected to be at 18, right? I'm a completely different human than not only 18-year-old Kristen, which thank God about that, but also then the Kristen that I thought that I would be at 35 when I was 18. Like this version of myself is improved, but not necessarily in all of the ways that 18-year-old me would have thought was an improvement. Because sometimes improvement looks like work, and it looks like depth, and it looks like challenge. And coming out of the other side of it, you know, there was a time when I thought improvement would be more light, or more light, like light, not light like God is light, but just lighthearted, you know. Or I thought that, you know, I would be traveling around the world without a care in the world. But instead, what improvement actually looks like is going through challenges and hardships that have allowed me to come out the other side, and there's a depth to who I am, and a depth to how I show up and how I relate to others that I couldn't have imagined 15 years ago. And that is beautiful, even though it's not the way that I thought it would look. So I have a question. I'm thinking I'll see mouths moving and be able to know what y'all are saying. But in New Thought teachings and Science of Mind, we have an image that comes to mind when we think of transformation. It is like the number one metaphor that we use for transformation. What is it? Oh, Janine, unmute and say that again. Apparently I can't read lips.
Change your thinking, change your life.
That is that is not the one I was looking for, but yes, that is a good one as well. Change your thinking, change your life. And this, I'm looking for, what is the animal that we relate to change your thinking, change your life, and transformation? Yes, there we go. Janine mouthed it. What were you gonna say, Terry? Yep, butterfly. Yes, butterfly. And so we have this idea of being a butterfly, right? And we talk about being butterflies. And I want to talk a little bit about butterflies. I do. And then I'm going to roll back around to change your thinking, change your life, Janine. Butterflies start out as caterpillars, right? We all know that, and they eat and eat and eat and eat, and then they go into a cocoon, and something happens, and they come out, and they're a butterfly. And we don't like to talk about the cocoon process, but in the cocoon, they turn into goo. Like they literally disintegrate. The caterpillar does. It literally disintegrates and dies. And these cells, called imaginal cells, eat the caterpillar and transform into the butterfly. And so when this new being comes out of the cocoon, it's literally a different being than the one that went in. The entire form and makeup of this creature changes into something new. And it's messy. Goo? I'm not sure I want to be goo. Like, oh, that doesn't sound fun, right? But that's what is being called when we say, oh, I'm gonna be a butterfly. Well, we can't be a butterfly without first being goo. And then something else that I learned that was really interesting that I didn't know about imaginal cells is that they start forming in the caterpillar at a very young age. And the caterpillar's immune system actually doesn't recognize them and fights them off. And so for a while, at first, when the caterpillar is a baby, I'm sorry, I don't know what you call baby caterpillars. For a while, the immune system is killing these imaginal cells, but they persist because there is a knowing in these cells that this is the birthright of the caterpillar. And so they keep on forming and they keep on building. And then eventually there are so many imaginal cells that it overtakes the butterfly. This highest calling and highest vision for the butterfly's life must emerge because there's too many cells. It can no longer fight them all off. And that is when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and becomes the butterfly. And so as I was thinking about this, I was like, oh my goodness, not only are we like individual butterflies, and we don't get to just say, okay, I'm going to go from caterpillar to butterfly and done, but we're in this constant process of butterfly to caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly to caterpillar to cocoon over and over and over again throughout our entire lives. But we as individuals are standing in the collective of society as these imaginal cells. And we are looking at society and looking at everything that's going on in the world, and we are saying, there is something greater that is happening here. There is a vision that is emerging of a world that works for everyone. And we are headed that way. And it's not easy, right? It's not always easy to go there and to be that spokesperson and to be saying, hey, we got to come from love. And that doesn't look like argument, and it doesn't look like fighting, and it doesn't look like warring for peace. It looks like something completely different, completely brand new that we can't even vision yet, but I see it, it is calling to me. So when I think of this idea of committing to transformation, it's those imaginal cells that are so committed to the divine birthright of the butterfly that they are willing to stand up to the immune system over and over and over again until something greater emerges. And that is what we are doing as individuals. It is what we are doing as a movement. Susie Ross says, transformation is an ongoing process that tends to appear ordinary when in fact something extraordinary is taking place. And it's also said that transformation is the process of life itself. So embrace this and carry on. April Peerless said that. And so when I think about these two quotes together, our entire lives, every moment of our lives, is this process of transformation that is really quite extraordinary underneath the surface of it. And the best thing that we can do is embrace this and carry on and know that underlying everything that is happening is transformation and transformation and transformation. I think about, there's this meme on Facebook that makes me laugh every single time it pops up. It comes up in my memories once a year, and it says, I may look like I'm doing nothing, but on a cellular level, I'm really quite busy. And that's how I think about transformation, and this idea of it being ordinary versus extraordinary is, even sometimes transformation looks really active and it looks really busy, but sometimes it looks like sitting still, and it looks like getting clear, and it looks like a level of acceptance of ourselves and of our worth and of our own self-love that is at a deeper place than we have ever known before. So, the other thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about this idea of committing to transformation, I did go back, Terry, to the ham and egg breakfast. I did go back there of the chicken in a ham and egg breakfast. The chicken is involved and the pig is committed, right? I did go back to, that level of transformation. Like, that's the level of committed that I want to be willing to show up in whatever way is being called to me in the surface or in this moment. But the other thing that came to me, kind of on a separate yet not unrelated note, is what do our brains actually doing? Like, what's going on in our brains? And I had to take one neurobiology class that was so intense that it felt like a bunch of neurobiology classes, right? It was 10 weeks of intenseness. And we learned about this. We learned about, we say in this movement, neurons that fire together wire together. And Janine, you said, change your thinking, change your life. And we just say these things, right? Like, change your thinking, change your life. Like, oh yeah, of course. Let me just go do that real quick. Let me just change my thinking. Let me just change my life, But when we really get into it, what does that entail in our brains? And have y'all have all seen like a old ancient road where it's like so many wagons and cars and horses and people have walked over it that there's a wall built up on either side where the forest starts up here and the road is down here because so many people have walked on it that it's eroded down, right? That's how our neurons become. They are so used to firing together that it is like, to say change your thinking, change your life is like asking you to go where you've been going in this road that has a 12-foot rut for your whole life, and all of a sudden we're asking you to make a 90-degree turn and climb up the side of that wall and go in a new direction. And because it's a neuron, so it's firing over and over and over again, you then have to go do that again and again and again and again. And you can think about how long it would take to create an intersection where those two paths are on equal levels, where that new path is so created that now they're together. And the good news is that when you stop walking on a path, it starts to raise up, right? Like the ground starts to fill in and the nature starts to take over. The neuron breaks apart in our minds and we can fire new. So it's not quite as hard. We don't have to walk the same road for 1,000,000 years, or thousands of years to get to the same point. But that's the challenge of change your thinking, change your life. It's not as simple as like, oh, let me just do that real quick, Okay, great, it's Sunday, hit me up on Wednesday, I should have my thinking all changed, right? It's not that simple. And what's even more interesting, and I actually didn't learn this in my neurobiology class, I learned it in What the Bleep Do We Know, is how our cells receive information. So our hypothalamus, which is located up in the back of our brain somewhere, is constantly manufacturing peptides, which are chemicals that align with our different feelings. And so if I have a feeling that I feel all the time, and people that are just always miserable, They're always down in the dumps. Something's always gone wrong. They've spilled the drink on themselves. They got their order wrong at breakfast this morning. They got a flat tire, right? It just all the time. They always have the story. Whatever the new story is for the day, there's always the story of why they're so miserable today. Well, our cells, so our hypothalamus manufactures peptides that are in chemical alignment with misery and then sends it out into our cells. And our cells get so used to only receiving that they literally become addicted to that chemical. And then we start saying, change your thinking, change your life. And somebody has a happy moment. So they come to the center. Oh my God, they're welcomed by everybody. It's so amazing. Coronavirus is over and everybody's hugging each other. And oh, it's just the best moment ever. And they have all of this happy peptides are created and they shoot out all over their body, but their cells don't have any receptors for for that happiness. There's no receptors there. Maybe there's one every once in a while. So happiness doesn't feel good. It feels weird. It feels wrong. And so it's much easier to go back to misery and to go back to unhappiness than it is to say, I'm going to keep shooting happiness out at my cells until they create new receptors and these old receptors go away for misery. That's the changing our thinking, where that's the work. And that does not happen over a day. It does not happen over a year. It happens over a lifetime. Over a lifetime. And so when I think about committed to transformation, that is the level of commitment that I want. And you know, at first it's very unconscious, right? We don't realize that we're addicted to misery. Like, what? That's not a real thing, Kristen, right? But it is. We don't realize. But then people start pointing it out to us. Did you know that you've been complaining about this for 45 minutes? Or we start getting feedback. I don't really want to spend time with you if all you're going to do is moan and complain and gripe and, you know, all of that stuff. And then we start looking at like, oh, and we start waking up just a little bit. And then we get some great friends here at the center. We continue to come every week and people keep giving us feedback and they keep telling us, you deserve better. You deserve more. You deserve to be happy. You can do this. And then we start catching it. Oh my God, I've been whining all morning long. Wait, hold on. I'm going to stop that. Wait, I'm going to change. And then we start catching it in the moment. Oh, I was about to whine about that. But what I know is that something wonderful is happening here right now through me, as me, in me, and for me. What I know about this situation that looks like a challenge or it looks like a problem is that this can only be for me. This can only be for my highest good. And so something must be emerging here. Okay, great. I'm going to keep going that direction. That's what I'm going to focus on. Where, you know, if you walk up and there's a pile of poo, keep digging because there's got to be a pony in there making that poo somewhere. So you walk up and where's the pony? Where's the pony? Right? That's the level of commitment. That is the level of commitment. Ernest Holmes in his Sermon by the Sea, which is one of I would say it's my favorite sermon of his, and it's one of my favorite things to read because it's just so beautiful. It's where he says, you know, find me someone who is for something and against nothing, and I will find you a truly enlightened being. He says all this great stuff, so go read it. But in the Sermon by the Sea, he says, we are taking, I trust, a vision, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living Spirit shall through us walk anew into its own creation, and a new glory come with the dawn. So when I think about committed to transformation, that's where I'm headed, is that new glory that I can't even see right now. This week is Palm Sunday, is Passover, is all of these amazing things, and happy Passover, happy Palm Sunday. And Passover is the Jewish holiday where they celebrate the spirit of the angel of death passing over the houses of the Jewish people and killing the firstborn in Egypt so that Moses can then take them out of slavery and into the promised land. There's all kinds of metaphors there. I'm not going to go into all of them. But when I think about this, their journey and this idea of being committed to transformation. So the Jewish people had been in slavery for tens of thousands of years, I'm pretty sure. It had been a really long time. It had been like generations of people had been in slavery, right? And when they put the lamb's blood on the doors so that the angel of death would pass over, in that moment, those people who had known nothing but a life of slavery could not have imagined what this vision of a promised land was. What this vision, this higher vision that Moses was calling them to, that Spirit was calling them to through Moses, they couldn't get there from where they were. And they couldn't get there so much that they had to spend 40 years wandering around the desert, eating nothing but manna, until they could get their minds clear enough to enter the promised land, until they could get their mental equivalent to what would it be like to actually live in the promised land. And in this particular instance, and regardless of whether you think this is a true story or not, we can take the metaphor out of it, right? They were so unclear of what that would look like that the entire generation of people who had been living in slavery had to die so that the new generation could come in and claim their birthrights. And that is like those imaginal cells. The caterpillar has to die for those imaginal cells to come in and claim the birthright of the butterfly. And so that is what we are doing here. When we say we are committed to transformation, we are those imaginal cells. And we have the opportunity and the ability to rewire our brains and to continue to shoot happiness chemicals at our cells until our cells finally accept and receive the happiness that is our divine birthright, and the joy and the worth and the love. All of these things. And we get to do that until the imaginal cells take over and we truly transform into that which is calling us our highest. And then we get there, we go through this whole process, we get there and there's a greater yet to be. And so we do the whole process again. This is the hero's journey over and over and over again. The entire time that we're on this planet and probably beyond, I don't know. But probably, I can't imagine it ends, that we just arrive. So this is what is being called to us. And this is the level of commitment. I am in a long-term committed relationship with transformation. And time again, that is what I will choose for myself. And I invite you to choose that for yourself as well. And let us go to prayer. And what I know is that this spirit, this infinite absolute presence that is changeless, is also that transformation, is also that thing that is calling us into our greatest yet to be, our next greatest yet to be. That thing that is underlying at the very core of who we are, of peace and love and joy and prosperity and abundance and all of the goodness, our entire divine birthright. That is what is emerging through, in, and as us in every way. And I know and affirm that this one thing, this infinite, absolute, eternal presence that is all life, it is every animal and every plant and every object and every individual and every action and every conversation, that one thing, it must be each of us. It is that spirit, it is that life that is living us. It is that spirit that is within us. It is our breath. It is our mind. It is our blood flowing through our veins. It is all of life, every single moment showing up as spirit expressing as each of us. And I know and affirm that each of us here are committed to transformation, are committed to that divine birthright that is what is ours, that birthright of love, that birthright of peace, that birthright of happiness. And that with every moment of commitment to transformation, that we are called into this next deepest layer and iteration of who we are. And I know that this is true for each individual here. I know this is true for the Celebration Center, for this beautiful, beloved community that we are creating here together, each of us showing up, bringing our gifts. And I know that this is true for the collective, for all of society, that we are creating a world that works for everyone. And that we are stepping into that greatest, highest vision. We are the imaginal selves. And I am just so grateful for each and every individual here who has stepped up and said yes. I am grateful for the transformation. I am grateful for the beauty. I am grateful for everyone here. And I simply let it go. I know that it is done more magnificent than what I can imagine now in caterpillar form, and I allow the butterfly to unfold as we say together, and so it is. Go right ahead, Lynn.
I'm
Are
so
you-
sorry. I must have
You're
clicked.
fine. Don't be sorry.
So, yeah, I'm just having my screens keep splitting, and I apologize. I can't get the lyrics in the chat box today for some reason. It's really strange. But this is a tune that is written by Tom Prasado Rao, one of my favorite songwriters. He's a local songwriter, and his friend Neil Eckstein, and it's called Messy Bed, or AKA Don't Be Afraid.
What if I told you that there was nothing you couldn't do, and every promise you might have broken is still waiting to come true. So don't be afraid of the messy bed you made. Don't be afraid, 'cause it just gets in the way. Though sometimes the world makes you wait, but the truth is, it's never too late. What if I told you no one can stop you? Walk past the doubters in your way. Follow your vision, your intuition, and no matter what they say, yeah, don't be afraid of the messy bed you've made. No, don't be afraid, 'cause it just gets in the way. Though sometimes the world makes you wait, but the truth is, it's never too late. Years from now, when you've found your tribe and you'll look back on the days you've cried and smiled. So don't be afraid of the messy bed you've made. Yeah, don't be afraid. It just gets in the way. And the truth is, it's never too late.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That was beautiful. Definitely a good reminder that wherever we are in this process of transformation, that we are exactly in the right, perfect place. So we have just a few minutes for Tell Us today. Does anybody have anything that they would like to share around commitment or transformation, or what it stirs up, or perhaps your willingness? Like how do you feel after this? Are you like, oh God, or are you like, yes, let's do it, or somewhere in between? What comes up for you? Who would like to share? Just raise your hand, or you can raise your hand using the raise hand feature. Suzanne and Tim.
You know, unmuting really helps.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the old thing. How far can you walk into a forest? Into the, that dark forest or that cave. How far can you walk into it? The answer is halfway, because after that you're walking out of it. And it's humorous. You chuckled at it, and it's a good, a fun, humorous way to make the point. The other thing I was reminded of, you were talking about, there's always higher. I was reminded of some of Ricky DB's lyrics. In Spirit Calling You, she says, when you've climbed the highest mountain that you can find, and you're looking out with eyes so satisfied, saying, look, 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 look what I've become. Look, 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 look what I've become. And the Spirit says, I am more than this. I am more than this. I am more than this. Come to me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tim and Suzanne.
I started jotting it down while you were saying that, going, oh yeah. That's
Thank you. Who else would like to share? Terry, I see your hands.
I loved the image of the imaginal cells, and I especially like that you did it at two levels: interior to me, working within me, and me as the cell working around me. That was very impactful. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Terry. I had that spirit, that was all spirit. I was like, oh, wait, we're also imaginal cells. Thank you. Anyone else? No? Oh, wait. Oh, Venus. Yeah. Go right ahead. You have to unmute though. We still can't hear you. You are not unmuted. Vetus?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if you were talking to the other guy.
I was,
or
sorry.
myself. Oh, okay. Yeah, I really liked how you went into the description of commitment, because commitment is actually one of my words that I've been working on this week. And, with the description of the transformation and the commitment, And for me, commitment is being dedicated to a cause with no excuses. And then leading up to, you know, your excellent butterfly details about transformation. I mean, I really enjoyed everything about this actual Sunday service today. It was amazing.
Well, thank you and
Mhm.
welcome, because this is your first time joining us and we are so happy to have you here. And we're actually going to call you back into the room if you're open. We'll have a space to welcome new visitors and learn just a little more about you. But thank you for speaking up and sharing on your first Sunday here. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, any final thoughts? All right, well then, with that, thank you everyone. I've really enjoyed doing this Tell Us. It's such a great way to get to know everybody and to know the community as a new minister coming in, and just finding out what y'all's immediate thoughts are to the talk for the day really helps me in knowing where to head and making sure that we're all in that vision together, right? Making sure we're all headed to the same horizon. And so with that, I invite you to take out what you are going to give. And that might be a metaphorical, just taking out and bringing to your heart yourself and your love and your time and your energy and your talents and your enthusiasm for the center. It might also be your tithe or your donation or your gift. And we have several ways that you can give on the website. You can also write us a check and mail it in. And I think Ivor is going to put up on the website where you can click on our website, the green, to give. And you can do that through PayPal or your credit or debit card. And then also, while Ivor has us pulled up over here, if you'll look to the right, you see left, request affirmative prayer, that purple button. So if you are interested in receiving prayer from myself and the practitioners, you can click there and fill out that form. You can also email us at prayer@celebrationcenter.org. And all of those prayer requests are held in confidentiality. They go to our practitioners, our licensed practitioners, as well as myself, to pray on throughout the week, because we know that prayer works. And so with that, I invite Lynn. I'm actually going to give on my phone while Lynn is singing. I'm going to give my donation through that button on celebrationcenter.org.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
Thank you, Lynn. And my beautiful techie, Ivor, reminded me that we did not do our offertory affirmation. So let's go ahead and do that now, because I like to affirm our prosperity. And so I just invite you actually to open your hands up to open and receive as we say this together, aloud, staying muted. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our Spirit promised to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. Thank you. And now I would like to invite Rich to bless our prayer request and bless our tithes and donations and money.
Just take a deep breath and let it out. We are so very grateful for the contributions and the prayers that are coming into the center. We now bless all the gifts that are donated now are coming to the center, as we know they are given from the Spirit within and from love. These gifts come to the center and go back out to the community and come back to us multiplied. We know that all the prayers submitted and in submission are answered as soon as they are thought and written by our word. Everyone making a request is already blessed and divine, and these prayers and affirmations are set in motion right now. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Rich. And now I would like to invite our Leadership Council President, Janine Ballou, to give us some announcements for this week.
Thank you, Reverend Chris. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to see your beautiful faces. And happy Palm Sunday, happy Passover. First of all, I'd like to welcome any and every visitor to our center today. And if you're comfortable with doing so, please introduce yourself and tell us how you found us. First time visitors.
Okay, yes, sorry about that. I was actually on the website.
It's okay.
I found you on the Meetup. I was just looking for, people that have the same thought process and, want to help others like myself. And you guys came up. So I decided to attend today. And then it was perfect because it was for transformation. So it's right up my wheelhouse. And I'm from the Mid-Atlantic region. I reside in Maryland. And, I'm just looking for others like myself who are just trying to make a difference and help others as well as change their self.
You're an integral cell too. Thank you. And please tell us exactly how to pronounce your name.
It's Vitas Bay.
Vitas, thank you and welcome. And
Welcome.
come back. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Other visitors? Well, we've got a wonderful set of happenings at our center. So hang in there while I tell you about a few of the things that are coming up. First of all, Reverend Chris has put out on social media and reminded us here at the center several times that we have a YouTube channel. And what we're doing is looking for subscribers. She has issued her own self as a personal opportunity to get more subscribers. She's going to let us vote on the next color of her hair. So if you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, there are ways to do it, and it's really easy. If I can do it, y'all can do it. Reverend Chris would be happy to show you how to punch the button that gets you subscribed. It doesn't commit you to anything. All it does is add you as another number toward our goal of 100 YouTube subscribers. What this does is it helps get our message out to the world. Just like Vitas told us, she found us on Meetup. That's a social media channel. So is YouTube. And YouTube has billions of people watching it all the time. We need to be there. This Friday, yeah, Vitas, Reverend Chris is going to share that with you. Thank you for asking. There it is. The channel is in chat now. This Friday, we're going to have our traditional Good Friday service, only it's going to be virtual, not in person. Remember how our dear Duke Height always spearheaded this service? Well, Irina Kurashevich, Reverend Hanasura, and Suzanne Delahaye are going to spearhead this year's Good Friday service. You can sign in on our channel, just where you are right now on Zoom, starting at 3 p.m. for a Taizé type service. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. Would it be accurate to say it's 1 hour long? Okay, so 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., sign in on Zoom for a Good Friday service. This coming Saturday, we're going to have an evening chanting service. You know that Terry Murphy spearheads the chanting, and usually it's on a Saturday morning. They have shifted to Saturday evening for the first Saturday of each month. And guess what, folks? April starts on Thursday. So our first Saturday of April will be this coming Saturday, and the chanting starts at 7 p.m. And Terry, do you want to say a quick word about what happens at chanting?
Just what's special this week in honor of Holy Week, we're going to be doing our usual Hindu chanting to the music of Krishna Das, but we're also going to be doing some Christian chanting. So that should be special. And we're done. It takes only a little more than an hour, and you will be muted. So no concern that you can't sing. We won't hear you. We'll just feel your vibe.
Thank you, Terry. It's Easter Sunday next Sunday. It always comes a week after Palm Sunday, doesn't it? We're going to have a special service led by Reverend Chris with her sermon titled, Let Your Song Arise. And our full choir will be sharing some inspirational music with us. And last for now, mark your calendar. There's another class already on the books, and we'll have all the details soon. Reverend Chris is going to lead us in a class called Mental Equivalence. And personally speaking, this is one I truly want to know more about. So I'm excited for this class. I'm looking forward to it. Reverend Chris will be sharing details on registration and the timing of it next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Thank you so much, Janine. And just a note on that class, Mental Equivalence, when we're talking about this rewiring our brains and creating new receptors in our cells and getting those ruts to go a different direction, mental equivalence is a way to supercharge and superpower those transformations. And so this class is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite topics. And I'll have more information for y'all next week. It's going to start in mid-April. And I also wanted to thank you so much, Janine. I just want to bring y'all's attention to, this is Holy Week and we have all of our normal stuff going on this week. And then also this weekend, we have a very full weekend for you. So if you would like to kind of come to the Good Friday service on Friday, and then the chanting on Saturday, and then it all culminates in the Easter service on Sunday. And it's just going to be an amazing full weekend of celebrating the new beginnings and the rising up that we can find in the brilliance of this time together right now during spring and this and Easter. And with that, I would like to ask Lynn to close us in song.
Okay, so I was able to get the words in the chat box on this one. I think it's the right one. Okay. This is an original tune, and I thought it would be a nice one to close with Reverend Chris's message today. So it's called In the Balance.
I just wanna play, I wanna sing my song, I just wanna run and not be gone too long, 'cause this time is precious still, I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream, time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here and not now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream, no one's taking that from you. Only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. Time won't wait for you. and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. And when you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold, 'cause I won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming, dreaming, dreaming.
So good. I do love that song so much. Thank you, Lynn. So now I just send us all out into the world, recommitted or committed to transformation and committed to that highest imaginable butterfly vision that is continually unfolding and revealing itself through each and every one of us. And with that, we are going to say bye to our Facebook people. So bye, Facebook. Bye for now. And